Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather Podcast. Your boy Qcity.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And this is the betting pod for week 13. So, we're going to look at how we did last week, set some props for this week. Definitely see how we did in the games, good or bad, right? And then get some games for this week. So, let's go. Let's get into it, bro. So, first things first, looking in the last week. I entered the week at 21 and 24, right? You entered the week at 9 and 10. I can't say that it was a great week for either one of us, to be completely honest with you, right?
It's fair.
So I'm gonna get into mine first, right? I was in my bag with the cool 6.5 kicking points. I hit the over on that, right? Pitts 29.5 yards. I hit the over on that one, and then Bijan 80.5 yards total yards. I hit the under on that one, but it was skin of my teeth there. I was
Fair.
like, I
Like a
was
yard
worried.
short. Yeah. He
But
was close.
he was close, but I cashed on that one. Right, the two that I missed, the one we missed together, Ritter 194.5 total yards, hitting the over on that one. That was a no. And then Tim Boyle, I did this to myself, bro. Tim Boyle 180.5 yards for the over. Dub. They set the man, bro. They set, yeah, you did, but they set the man, dog. He could have got 80 because his yards plus Simeon's yards in the third and fourth was over 180.
It was, but he was going to throw another pick. That's why they set him down.
That's why they set him down, bro. That's why they, and to be completely honest, I did it to myself because it's Tim Boyle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Tim.
I understand. I understand the rationale behind it. It's just, sometimes it don't always go our way.
My thing is, in that situation, you already had the game was lost, bro. There is no other option. Like, I mean, we can get into the bag real quick. Just a little mixing on the Falcons pod. You know what I'm saying, or just NFL in general. The fact that, like I said in the Falcons pod, it was disrespectful to Zach. You see, that man don't even want to play no more, dog.
Yeah, he was like, you want me to come back? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, like,
I don't know about that.
They hit him with the, hey, we working mandatory OT, and he hit him with the, my schedule say.
I already got plans. I ain't gonna be here, so I don't know what you want me to do. Sorry, not sorry.
Like, I put my PTN on months ago, bro. Like, months ago. So I don't really know.
It's beyond me now.
My ticket's not refundable. I can't really. You feel me? But like, I was just like, it was disrespectful. It was disrespectful to Zach, bro. And the fact that you put him in and then didn't ride it out, that one really screwed me. But it gave me a 3-2 week. So I'm sitting at 24 and 26, right? Getting real close to that 500 mark. I should be able to cross over it. And of course, in the next couple of weeks, especially as we bump up to betting about 4 or 5 weekly, I definitely want to hit that 66% by the end of the season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got to be real with you, big dog. This was not a kind week to you.
Hey, man, every week can't be a winner, man, And I've been having a lot more losses than wins, but hey, we going to turn it around sooner than later.
So, came into the week 9 and 10. Bijan over on the 58.5 rushing yards. That was just a bad beat because he really should have. He was 4 yards short on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he really could have crossed over.
You barely missed it, and I barely missed it. We was on the opposite side of it, and that.
But it was close. It was close, especially toward the end of the game.
Because if I would have got mine, you would have lost yours.
Yeah, every time. And so I was, hey, look, oh, bye, looking out. What's it called? We both missed the Ritter 194.5 on the over. He just the Jets defense, like we talked about, it's
like defense. And then the elements, and it was a lot of aspects to it. So
for the most part, played a clean game, no turnovers. Wish I would have took him for the 0.5 INT, taking the under on that. I just did too chicken shit. I didn't actually think about doing it, but I was really surprised that he kept a clean game the whole time, which is why I thought keeping a clean game, the yardage would just come, but it just,
Yeah,
just good defense.
happens.
Jonnu, 18 and a half for the over, right? Man had 10 yards. Now, here's the thing. When asked your rationale about why Jonnu were 18 and a half, your exact words was, I don't know. It's just a feeling. And that feeling came back to bite you, for lack of better words, right? And then London 6.5 targets, took the over there. I'm not gonna lie to you, I was 100% aligned with that one. It seemed very, very reasonable, but he only ended up getting, was it 4 official targets or 5?
It was 5.
It was 5.
It was 5.
Yeah, 2 targets short there. It's with targets. It's a rough beat, right? It's a rough beat on targets because, like, what do they consider a target? They consider a throwaway a target. But it really just speaks to like highlighting a facet of the game. And for the most part, he wasn't overly highlighted. But I just think as a whole, our offense was.
I also think they were trying to stay away from Sauce because it seemed like Sauce was on him most of the game because they had the other corner, DJ Reed on Pitts and whoever the other outside corner was. So it seemed like Drake London was seeing a whole lot of Sauce.
Yeah, so in the Falcons pod, right? So we record that Sunday. All we get is the TV version. And TV version, it didn't look like Sauce was on him a majority of the game. But like film session on Tuesday, look at that, and it's like now he traveled with him a good bit. So I could understand their reluctance to force the ball that way.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so that makes sense.
So looking at it, ended the week 9-14. It's tough, right? But all that is a good week to turn it around, man. That's all that is. Good week to turn around. And it starts with our heavily moving offense against this Tampa Bay defense, right? Kind of owned them the first time, and your bets kind of reflect that story of being able to continue that momentum offensively. Right? So let's get into it. You got Ritter, 195 passing yards over. Holla at me on that one. What you think?
Last time we played the Bucks, he played a good game, if not for the fumbles, but like we were passing the ball very effectively, and I don't really see that changing this time, especially when we're at home.
Right? So why not go total yards instead of just strictly passing? Because I do think that Ritter's going to have over 200 yards total offense. I'm not really sure if all 195 of it is going to come passing the ball.
I just feel like he's going to, like, I feel like they're going to kind of get back to what they kind of were doing in hopes that he can take care of the ball. It just feels like a good number to me because, like, he's capable of it. He showed us that he's capable of clearing that number.
Yeah, multiple times. It really is in line with the 19.5 completions, right?
Yeah.
He's been able to average that for a majority of the season. So it's not you ain't wilding with the number. I just think he's going to get it in total offense because he really was killing them with using his legs, right? Down in Tampa. This game's at home. He hasn't been reluctant to use it.
I mean, but in Tampa he had 250 though, through the air.
Yeah. True.
So like the air yards will be there, just you gotta take care of the fumbles.
Especially close to the goal line, right? Then you got Bijan over specifically in rushing 69.5. Talk to me there. Especially considering Bijan didn't play in the first game and we moved the ball so well.
So the way that you attack teams like Tampa is you have to run outside. So players like players like Algier was able to get off at a pretty good clip when we played them. Yeah, it wasn't an amazing game, but it was still at an effective clip. So I think if you insert Bijan into some of those touches, that 69 should be pretty easy, and I think he got opportunity to pop one this week.
Now, see, I'm aligned in the sense of Bijan having touches that go for yards, go for big yards. But I'm more so same as Ritter. I'm more so looking at total yards in this regard. I feel like he's going to be a huge factor in the passing game this weekend, not so much strictly running the ball.
Oh, it's not gonna be strictly running, but I think 69 was a good number because I feel like the outside runs and that's Bijan's specialty. I feel like the opportunity will be there, and I do think he is due to hit one. Like he ain't popped one yet. I think this might be the week.
Yeah, yeah. When was his last? Has he had a 100-yard rushing game yet?
Versus Green Bay.
Yeah, it's been a while. Was that week three?
He he might have had one versus no he was a little short versus Arizona. It was week 2 though. Week 2.
Yeah, phew. Yeah. No, that's going on a while, right? But it like we were tracking in our rookie report, he's definitely going to end up with around 1,600 scrimmage yards, and his
I mean he's
touchdowns
still
might be a
top
little.
five in he's still top 5, top 10 in rush yards. So in the NFL, he's doing well.
No, no, 1,600 scrimmage
Oh
yards
yeah,
from a rookie. You can't like
you can't complain.
you know unless it's like Adrian Peterson or something. You know what I'm saying? That's nothing. 1,600 scrimmage yards ain't nothing to scoff at. And in reality, he didn't play one game. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
he's active for it, but he didn't play one game. You got Pitts 35 and a half on the receiving yards. So we talked about it in the pod where we can't, as an offense, keep having Bijan games, Pitts games, London games, right? We got to have these moments where we're bringing it all together. And I'm starting to see it within your bets, right? Like you really hit the heavy hitters on this one. Focus on quarterback, running back. Now we're at tight end. Obviously, going to give away the last one is wide receiver. So talk to me on where you got the 35 and a half from. It makes sense with your 195 for Ritter,
yeah.
but where do you see Pitts being able to attack the Tampa defense?
Um, I mean, typically in the games he's played versus Tampa, the yardage is typically over that 35 and a half. Because with the talent Pitts has, he's shown capability to get that in 1 or 2 catches. Like so, as
Mhm.
long as he gets anything between 3 to 4 catches, I feel like that 35 is going to be well within range.
I do. I definitely. He's like a possession receiver, basically. Even with all his speed, he's got a big body. He can chew up first downs. I really really wish they would use him more, as you will see in my betting points. But it's just 35 seems completely reasonable. And I think what was the number we got to 52 or 53 will give him uh really high yardage for a tight end in terms of the season,
Because
right?
all you want, like, if you can get a tight end averaging about 50 to 60 yards a game, that's elite production for a tight end. Pitch
Yeah.
is, Pitch is giving us good production for a tight end right now. Maybe even very good production for a tight end right now, especially coming off the injury or when he's not 100%. But I feel like he's starting to get his legs back up under him.
And see, with what he perceived lacks in blocking, that's why the draft being an economic exercise is like you spending the fourth pick on him is kind of baffling. The talent is immense, right? The talent's immense. No one's going to like poo-poo the talent. It's just kind of like you said, is elite production is maybe 60 to 70, right? But
Yeah,
like really good all pro production is 50 to 60,
yeah. I
in
mean,
terms of receiving yards per game. And it's like you don't expect that out of the number 4 overall pick when he doesn't give you that extra oomph on blocking.
well, I mean,
He's a decent blocker.
he's a willing blocker. I'll say he's a willing blocker. Some most times, but see, his first year he was giving us those numbers though. He
He
just
was
wasn't
getting
getting a touch.
elite production his first year.
Yeah. So
Elite production,
it's there, but the quarterback play has to be there.
which is true. And
So
I think he's coasting on that rookie year. Not coasting. Coasting is the wrong word there. I think people are more than willing to give him a lot of grace in terms of the production he does have because of that first year, right? Where tight end is a huge, huge learning curve, right? Because
yeah,
you have to learn multiple positions. You got to learn blocking schemes. Then you have to learn multiple receiver positions because the offense, especially the one that Arthur runs, requires the tight end to flex out multiple times. So you may be running the X or the Z, right? Like you could be on the front side, back side of the formation. You got to learn a lot, and it's like that was thrown at him, and he excelled in that situation. But like obviously, when you look at it, you had an extremely knowledgeable quarterback in that situation, right?
Yeah.
You didn't have the uncertainty. You insert Mariota the following year, he can't get you the ball, then you get hurt, right? You come back this year, like we talked about, you're still top 10 in a lot of the metrics when it comes to tight end, but I think people are still tantalized by that first year of production, right? Without taking in obviously all the factors that surround.
Not given that he's played all of the games this year, I think people should still understand that he is not healthy all the way. Because he had a MCL injury and surgery. So he's back, but most knee injuries you're not fully back until the following season. So next year he's going to look better, but the fact as the season's going, he's starting to look stronger and more like the pitch that I seen the following year. But you can see it in a lot of the routes. A lot of his routes are breaking to the left because you don't want to push off the right knee.
I could see that, right? And you don't ever want to have to consciously think of that in how you're calling the plays because that's going to handicap your offense and whatnot. You want to just be able to call plays. Like it's a lot going on game day. I'm pretty sure coaches aren't like sitting there like, oh, well, I got to make sure I motion this guy to this side of the field so that when we run this play inverted, he's breaking to the left and not the right because he's got a knee issue. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna lie to you, that's not going through my mind. Right? Like, I wouldn't even think that hard.
So, but I think he's fine. But 35 and a half, very reasonable number. I think he's going to clear that.
Now, this last one, London, over 48 and a half rushing yards. I got it at 46 and a half. You got it at 48 and a half. But the measurement pretty much remains the same.
Dang, I didn't know he was running the ball this time. Now, hold on, let me go check something real quick. You said rushing? Hold on.
No, receiving.
Man, come on, get it together, man. Get it together.
Receiving, my fault.
Nah.
You got it 48 and a half. I got it 46 and a half, right?
Yeah.
But like the sentiment remains the same. London should be able to have a very productive day, right?
Yeah. Last time he had over 100.
Yeah, he had a real good day on the Bucks. So one of the things I did want to talk about, you know what I'm saying, when we just had to break down the production for tight ends. When it comes to wide receivers, London is pretty far behind the pack in terms of providing elite, all-pro, Pro Bowl production, period, for a wide receiver, right? His first year was with Marcus Mariota, had like 800 yards, right? Played in every game but one last year, or did he play in all 17?
I think he played in everything.
All 17 last year.
He might have left one earlier, but he played in everything.
Right. This year has missed a game and been, I think he missed the back half of another game.
The Titans game. Groin injury, the Titans game.
So you look at that, you've missed a game and a half. Where is that? Like 600, 700 yards? I don't know if it's that much. This is real time, people. Google moments.
Real time. He is at, man, not mean to hit college stats.
All right, we're sitting at
573.
573 for the year, bro. That's tough.
46 catches, 573 average, and about 12 and a half per catch.
The average is there. The average is beautiful. But obviously it's just not it's not enough targets, it's not enough catches. Right?
Yeah, like
this is supposed to be our number one option.
These things
right?
With
basically him and Pitts is 1A, 1B
less
situation.
On their ability and just kind of just the way the system's going and the way the targets are being spread out.
Yeah, no, you were stuck. I was sitting there looking for a minute.
No, I was looking at you because yours is stuck. I'm just saying like, okay, well, all right.
Nah, it's cool. So 1940, I'm gonna do 20 or 5. No, so I was saying like he's not really giving any production. He doesn't have enough targets. I feel like his opportunities, he is converting them into catches. Outside of this game where he had 5 targets and 1 catch, usually like 7 targets, 5 catches, 4 targets, 3 catches. You know what I'm saying? He's capitalizing on the opportunities that he's getting. It's just not enough opportunities,
Yeah.
right? And I it hurts using the number 8 overall pick. I don't think anybody's looking at London like he's a bust, even though through a year and 12 games he only has 1,400 yards, right? Like
I mean, a
I don't
lot of
think
it is
anybody's
just
looking.
it's the system. It's really just the system. Um, because he's just we're a one first team. We have below average quarterback play, so it's the opportunities to truly thrive aren't as high because we do lean on the run so much. So and then
I
you got
think
to
that
share the field with
right,
like Pitts and a number 8 drafted running back who's outpacing who's going to touch like Bijan's going to touch the ball more than anyone. So it's like it's when you dealing with a run first offense and then you the running backs also eating into those targets too. It's tough sometimes. So like yeah, he's not going to be up there with his counterparts at least this far. Now, as quarterback play improves, I expect his numbers to improve because Drake London, as he was in USC, he's a volume guy.
yeah, which you're seeing, you know what I'm saying? You give him the opportunities, he's gonna put it up. I think one of the things that's really like uh helpful for me is the average is really high, right? Which means when he's getting those opportunities, they're down the field and he's making plays, the ball is moving. He's not just a possession type of guy.
Right.
Um, you look at the New Orleans game, right? Right up under 100 yards, 5 catches. I think he had 7 targets that game, right? So,
Yeah.
like, you're converting your opportunities, you're moving the ball down the field, you're doing it at a decent pace. I think if he was a guy who consistently got 11 to 12 targets, he's going to average 85 to 100 yards a game, right?
Yeah.
Which is Pro Bowl type wide receiver numbers. Um, the talent is there. It's just kind of like you said, our system doesn't necessarily dictate it. And so we have these really, really low numbers when we get to the props of like 48, 46 yards.
Uh-huh. Which we know he's very capable of clearing any. It's just it's opportunity.
So I go into mine. Like I said, I got London over at the 46 and a half. Basically the same thinking. You went over 100 last time. You should be able to clear any number under 60,
Yeah.
to be
Because
honest.
his last 2 times he's had over 100 yards playing Tampa.
Yeah. So I you've got something against them. You should be able to get things done there. Right along a line with your Pitts 35 and a half. I got Pitts targets 3.5. I took the over on that one, right? I
I
do
like
think
that.
he will be able to work the middle of the field. You should be able to get 4 targets. They count overthrows, and so play action, middle of the field, like in multiple instances, you should be able to. I'm not going to say force feed him 8 targets this game. Like I don't think that's going to happen, but I do think over the course of the game, 4 targets is extremely reasonable, right?
Yeah.
One a quarter, it's not wild. Um, I got Bijan total yards 95 and a half. I took the over there. Basically, same thinking, kind of aligned where you were on the mindset that his rushing yards should be pretty high. I'm just factoring in his passing yards there. I think his total yards. I pretty much think he's going to get over 100 scrimmage yards this game. Um, I feel like Tampa's defense is kind of overrated right now,
No,
right?
it's good. It's just injuries.
Yeah.
Injuries are kicking in because Vita Vea, I think he may be missing this game, and if he is,
Now,
that's
to
gonna
be
open up the
fair,
middle.
we have a lot of injuries coming up too, bro.
Yeah, we do, we
We
do.
have a lot of injuries popping up as well.
I mean, injury is part
But
of the
it's just
game, but it's all about how you rebound from them. Everybody can't do it.
and we're at that point in the season, right? We're at the point in the season where nobody's healthy,
Yeah.
um, but it just kind of is what it is there. Now, here's kind of my wild card, right? I got Algier for anytime touchdown,
That makes sense.
right?
Um, it
I
makes sense,
actually
but I'm so scared of the anytime touchdowns with the Falcons because you never know who's really gonna score.
that's okay. So that was my thinking there, right? I felt like one, I don't like to bet on the same player multiple times, right? I like to kind of switch it up. Um, but I had a choice: was I going to take Bijan for the yards, or was I going to take him for the touchdown? And I was like, in the red zone, even though he made a point to say we're going to get these guys involved in the offense, and over the course of the past 2 weeks, he has, right, especially down in the red zone. I believe him there. He's had that bye week, had that refresh. They're coming back up. That's cool, but I still think when you get into the red zone, right, especially considering what happened down in Tampa, they might just go with a bigger, more powerful back and try to punch it in that way, right? I also wouldn't have been opposed to a Ritter rushing touchdown on a bootleg type situation.
I could see it, but I don't think Tampa gonna give it up again.
Well, speaking of somebody giving it up, Baker makes turnovers, right? And so my bet for the other team is Baker INT point 0.5. I took the over on that one. I feel a Jesse Bates pick coming. I feel it in my soul, bro, that Baker's gonna give us one this week.
It may not be Bates. It's probably gonna be Richie Grant again.
And if I'm not mistaken, AJ's out, right?
No, he's questionable.
It's questionable.
Him, him and Akuda are both questionable.
Well, when was the last time someone questionable played? Well, actually, it was 2 weeks ago. But prior to 2 weeks ago, the last time someone questionable played was like 4 or 5 years ago. So
Yeah, I, mean,
they're not.
I tend to like the questionable ones though. So we'll see.
Or no. That's doubtful. That's
Yeah,
doubtful.
doubtful.
My bad.
Questionables are very. It's a step below probable,
Game
but
time.
yeah, it's basically you wait. Hey, you feel good? Yeah, okay, cool. We rolling.
So hey, if both corners can go, cool. If both corners can't, that shapes up for a different type of day. But
Well, we gonna see what Clark really made of versus Mike Evans.
nah. They wouldn't put Clark on Evans. They would probably
Well,
put
who you gonna put on him? Your Flowers, barbecue chicken.
I don't know, bro. Like you giving up way too much hype there.
I mean,
You
hey,
giving up
if you could say that, but if y'all have not seen the Clark Phillips Drake London tape from back when USC Utah, that was a good battle. Clark Phillips was giving Drake London some problems. So just
no. I he knows how to handle bigger receivers. As someone said, like they're bigger, so he could put. So it's more for him to grab onto. Pause.
yeah.
Like,
So
no, but in all truthful honesty, like I have faith in him. I have faith in him handling bigger receivers. Mike Evans, strictly based on just numbers and history, is like damn near a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
oh, he
I,
is. He's definitely a Hall of Fame
yeah,
receiver.
I would have reservations about AJ facing him every time. You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean,
not
but
reservations, but like
if your two starters is out, somebody got to do it.
somebody got to check him, and that's gonna be a long day, bro.
Cause the
That's
thing
gonna be
is,
a long day. Pass rush
cause the thing
gotta get
is,
on.
yeah.
That pass
Because with
rush
AJ
got.
out, there's no one to follow him. So he's going to Clark's going to see him if they don't play. There's no if ands, but he's going to see him at some point in that game.
My thinking is maybe you can clog that middle and put what's the safety? Helms on him, right? He's too
You
slow.
not
But if you
you not
shade some
putting
safety help,
you not putting Helms on him.
bro, shade some safety help over the top that way.
Helms can't cover. That's why Helms is like a
Can't.
in the box guy. You don't want put him on the outside. That's no. That's a
He
terrible
really
idea.
can't. He really can't. Really? Well, I was thinking more so size.
Could have
I'm
think.
saying more so.
I mean, Helen's like 6 foot maybe. Clark's
Damn,
5'10". Yeah.
5'10" is very generous.
5'9". Okay, he's 5'10" with cleats on him and all the other stuff. Still,
5'10" is generous, but um, so those are my five for the week, right? Now, getting to the games, bro. Getting into the games. Started my week at 8-12. Hear your boy out. Okay? Hear your boy out. Arizona +6 versus Pittsburgh. One outright. Cashed on that one. Right?
I didn't like it,
Atlanta.
but yeah, you proved me wrong.
Hey, Atlanta. 1.5 versus the Jets. Cashed out on that one. Right? Detroit. I got it at -4. Was it DraftKings had it closed at 5.5? Either way, cashed, right? Versus New Orleans. Then the last one was kind of just a sneak in. The Chargers money line versus the Pats. Cashed on that one. My only loss for the week was the Jags and Cincy game, and that's because Trevor Lawrence got his freaking legs snapped in half. Prayers up to him. Hope everything is all right.
Is that the only reason?
I mean, bro, they were driving. They
Is
were
that the
driving.
only reason?
They were driving.
Is it though?
They would have kicked that field goal. They would have kicked that field goal, put the pressure on Cincy, and I truly believe they would have covered. I truly
I
believe they would have
mean,
covered 8.5. It closed at
but
10.
if was the fifth, we'd all be drunk.
Facts. Right? But I just think that, hey, maybe that one was doomed from the start. I knew obviously once it goes into overtime, it's not cashed. So I was just like, I turned it off when it went into overtime. I didn't really care who won at that point.
Yeah.
But, hey, a 4-1 week, right? So I'm sitting at 12-13 right now. I'm feeling really good about coming into this week, and I definitely think I'm going to get close to my 66%. So, you, 6-9 coming into the week, right? Okay. 2 losses straight up. You had Tennessee money line versus the Colts. I don't even necessarily feel like he was on the wrong side of that one. That went down to an overtime last second touchdown. Like it is what it is. Like games like that, that's a coin flip, right? And then you missed terribly. Broncos money line versus the Texans. Like that wasn't close. Russ was out there just doing madness.
It was close until Russ threw that pick on the goal line, Seattle style. But
but then the Redeemers, like you be getting some gems, my man. Detroit money line versus Saints, right? We both called that one. Thought Detroit was going to pummel them for the most part. They did. Atlanta money line versus the Jets, right? We believe in the team. Got that one. But your one that you were resolute on, that you was like, bro, dotting my I's, crossing my T's, I'm sticking my flag in the sand. 49ers money line Eagles, bro. You shorted the Eagles, and boy, did it come up big. That was your state claim this week, 3-2, ending the week at 9-11, bro.
I thought I was gonna lose, but I didn't think it was gonna look like that though. Like nobody saw it. I don't think nobody saw that coming.
Nah, and to be honest with you, I appreciate it because it goes into my big bets this week. But we'll get to that in a second, right? So, what you got coming up this week? You got Carolina money line versus New Orleans. That is a bold take, my man. Carolina is going through just a lot. They're going through a lot.
The Saints.
Saints are also going through a lot. Carr just got cleared from concussion protocol though, so but I don't even know if that make a difference, bro.
It don't.
Man, it's terrible.
Basura.
Like, yeah, nah, it's real bad right now. Then you got Denver money line versus the Chargers. That one I'm kind of like, what's on about that one? Holla at me on that one.
It's a division game. I don't trust the Chargers. And, the Broncos, I mean, I don't necessarily trust them either, but I like them better than the Chargers.
That's factual.
I,
The Chargers are they frauds, and I'm not even. It's
they
not even about the
frauds because
yeah.
the thing is,
It's not even
it's going to
about the
come
Justin
down to
Herbert.
it. It's going to come down to it. They're going to triple cover Keenan Allen when the game's on the line because Quentin Johnston's going to guard himself.
Factual, factual. That's looking like a real rough first round pick. Oh.
Oh, my bad.
That's looking like a real rough first round pick right now, bro. Like, and they say he's having problems learning the playbook and all these type things. I'm like, dang, bro.
He's having a
And
problem learning his hands too.
hey, what's crazy is you having problems learning the playbook, bro. You're about to have a new coach. About to have a new coach.
Yep, sure is.
I just, hey, it is what it is. Um, Short and Philly again. You got Dallas money line versus Philly. They played them tough last time, so I don't even think that's crazy.
Because this Dak had a great game, and Dak is going to this is going to be a signature game for his MVP campaign.
I don't know, bro. Like the whole MVP thing, like I don't even feel like you gotta give it to a quarterback because, like, for me, Tyreek is the MVP this year, bro. Like, just true and honest, bro. If he mess around and get 2,000, 2,100 yards and 18, 19 touchdowns, like, bro, that's the MVP of the league, bro.
Okay,
Like,
so let me break down his last one, two, three, four, five, six. His last 6 games. We're gonna start with LA. 4 touchdowns, 300 yards. He had 1 interception, 133.7 rating. We're gonna go to Philly. 374, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 115.2 rating. New York Giants, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, 138.3 rating. Carolina was a that was a little stinker. He was 189, 2 touchdowns, 95.2 rating. Then Washington, 331, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks, 142.1. And then Seattle, 299, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 115.8 rating. Like it started out a little slow, but he'd been smoking the past
yeah,
six
but like,
weeks.
look, Washington
It,
twice and the Giants, bro. Like,
it they don't
now,
look
granted,
when it,
I get it, I get it. You can only play who's in
whenever they
front of you.
compile these MVP lists, they don't look at who you played. They look at the
No,
numbers and
I
how you
get that. I
played.
get you can only play who's in front of you. I I do think that, like, yes, I think his MVP definitely hinges on his performance through Philly. I know they got to play Buffalo. I think they play Miami too, don't they?
Miami got a
Like,
weak defense, so
I think that his performance definitely hinges on his last 5 weeks because I don't. Dak always has these stretches where he plays the NFC East teams
um
and goes
no, but
bananas
just
at
throughout
some
the
point.
season, he has 3,200 yards, 26 touchdowns, and only 6 picks. Like he's having a great season.
He's having a great season. He's having a great season.
This
I
the,
and
this is an MVP. These are MVP caliber numbers.
no, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I'm just saying, like, I got to see the next 5 weeks because I could 1,000% see the season ending with Dak at 43 to 4,400 yards, 32 to 33 touchdowns, but instead of six, he's up to about
So you saying
11
he only
interceptions.
gonna get 6 more touchdowns in 5 games?
7? I said 33 or 34. 7 or 8.
I still think that's a little short
Five
for 5
games,
games.
7 or 8 touchdowns.
All right,
Right?
we'll
That's
see.
33, 34. I gave him 1,200 yards. So that's five. That's like 260 minimum, right? There's 260 on average. About a touchdown and a half a game. You know, some games going to throw two, some one. And then, but I think instead of 6 interceptions, I definitely see him ending the season with double digits, either 10 or 11, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
And that still doesn't.
he's been playing great though, but
No, he's been playing great. I don't think those are Don't get me wrong, 4,400 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 11 picks. People have won MVP with less. People have won MVP with less, and you didn't even count his rushing stats or rushing touchdowns. So I'm not saying like he's not an MVP candidate or front runner for MVP or shouldn't get
Well,
MVP.
front runner, I don't know. I just know he's a candidate. He in
It
this game is
definitely,
going to help his candidacy.
yeah, definitely a candidate there. I'm saying for me personally, when I look at the receiver, like when I look at football in totality, right? The last time a defensive player won it was Lawrence Taylor, right?
No,
I
I
think
don't. What?
it hadn't been since Lawrence Taylor, not to my knowledge.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, shit.
Lawrence Taylor was the last defensive player to win it. I think Myles Garrett was having a bomb season before he tore his shoulder up, right? I thought he was in the running. Um, a wide receiver hasn't won it since Jerry Rice. Um, a non-quarterback hasn't won it since Adrian Peterson. Uh, I just I wouldn't be opposed if Tyreek gets 2,000 to
Yeah,
2,100 yards, 18, 19 touchdowns. I wouldn't be opposed to making him
I won't
MVP.
be opposed to it, but it's hard to put him. It's hard to put him above the player who's throwing on the ball, though. Just
And I think
it just all goes back to one of your favorite things. It's a economical exercise.
no. So here would be my only recourse to that, right? If you and you can't necessarily do it, but I feel like college does it the best, right? Because multiple wide receivers have won the Heisman in college,
Yeah,
right? Multiple wide receivers. The most recent being Devontae Smith, is where one of the things that the voters look at is what is the quarterback's production without this wide receiver. If
mm-hmm.
you're going to make them a candidate, right? So even if you look back at Matt Leinart and Reggie Bush, right? Reggie Bush was a huge factor in the passing game, right? But when Reggie Bush won his Heisman, one of the things that they were talking about was the fact that they kind of looked at Leinart, who had just won a Heisman, and took out his passing numbers to Bush, right? And kind of looked at him stand alone there. And they were able to give it to Bush. I think the same can kind of be said. That's why Tua is not an MVP candidate. You
No,
know
he's
what I'm
not an
saying?
MVP
Like,
candidate, but he's also probably one of your best 10 or 12 quarterbacks in the league right now.
no, definitely. He's a good quarterback. And I'm not taking that away from him. I'm literally just saying, like, I think if you look at Tyreek in a vacuum, which is
Yeah,
what I feel like you kind of have to do with those specialized positions, like that's why like a corner is never going to be MVP. It doesn't matter. Like
unless he put up something like 20 interceptions.
it's
He
some
had to, it would have to be
even
something insane.
it would have to be some it had to be some madness shit, right?
He would have
Like
he would have to damn near be a two-way player on some Travis Hunter stuff.
yeah, no, honestly, I think a corner could win MVP if he averaged a pick a game. If he has 17 picks in it or a turnover a game, right? If he literally had some mix of fumble recoveries and interceptions that result in him having one turnover per game and maybe 4 or 5 touchdowns, you could legit look at him as an MVP candidate, right?
Yeah,
But in totality, it's very hard to look at a corner and be like, that is the MVP of the whole league, right? And I
yeah.
think wide receivers kind of fall into that. Jerry Rice, when he won his, I want to say that was a strike shortened season. That was the scab season, right? 83, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like since then, quarterbacks have dominated it. You've had a couple running backs sprinkled in there. I know it's hard for a wide receiver to win it, but I wouldn't be opposed to Tyreek.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't be opposed to it. It's just the quarterback position always propped up. So I mean, it wouldn't
Speaking of
surprise
Miami,
me. Yeah, go ahead.
speaking of Miami, one that we both really like is Tennessee covering versus Miami this week. I got my
Mm-hmm.
reasons. I'll let me on yours.
Uh, Tennessee just don't seem like the type of team to lay down. I mean, it's been a season that I'm pretty sure Mike Vrabel will love to put behind him when it's over. But and he's still gonna stand on business. And I don't. I think that when you going against a team like Miami, you going to want to go out there and try to prove a point. Even if you lose,
I was
you will at least want to show some fight.
so I would say if you're just looking at raw numbers, that Tennessee loss looks worse and worse every week, right? But if you're watching the games, Tennessee they are in every single game, bro. They are in
Yeah,
every single game doing all they can to win every single game they can. They've come up short, right? But they are in every single game. And so I feel like plus 13, real disrespectful. Real disrespectful to the type of operation they run. So I've got the plus 13 as well. Then we both have Atlanta money line Tampa Bay, right? So
yeah.
that's our last two are the same there. I got Las Vegas money line versus Minnesota. Darkness, everybody, darkness. No, I got I got Las Vegas money line versus Minnesota, right? I think they were on a good trajectory. Kind of got knocked off. Played some real teams. I feel like Josh Dobbs is regressing to the mean. Right, the more he plays, the more you get to see on him. I definitely feel like Las Vegas wants to play for their coach, wants him to stay. Right,
Yeah.
Antonio Pierce, I feel like he's got some stuff to him, and so I definitely feel like they're going to come out fired up this game. I got them winning, but not enough to cover the spread. I think this is going to be a really close game, so just money line there.
I like it.
Then I got. I'm glad you stayed away from it. I'm glad you stayed away from it. I got Baltimore plus 7.5 versus the LA Rams. Right. Um, one of the factors. This is a crazy stat, bro. So you already know the Lamar like never loses versus NFC stats,
That's why I
right?
didn't take it.
Let me hit you on a crazy one too. Do you know pre-Eagles Michael Vick record versus the AFC?
Mm-mm.
Very, very similar, bro. It was like 7-1.
Oh.
Yeah. So, one of the theories was really like propagated was the fact that like you never see this type of quarterback. You don't see this type of athleticism. You don't usually see this type of offense. So when
Yeah.
you see it only one time every couple of years or so, it catches you by surprise. Which is
Yeah.
why usually the average margin of victory is pretty high against NFC teams. They usually steamroll, right? And I was like, bro, that makes so much sense. So when you look at 7.5, yeah, I think Baltimore is going to cover 8. I easily think they're going to cover 8.
I can get behind that. Aaron Donald might have a
Right?
say into it, but I can get behind it.
And then my last one, it's another big one. I feel like the 49ers are overvalued. Now I know I said this last time. I know I said this last time, but I mean it this time, bro. 13 points versus Seattle. I feel like
That's kind of
Geno's
crazy.
arm is messed up. I said it 2 weeks ago. I
You did.
I really believe it after Thursday night. Geno's arm is messed up, but Seattle has always had a really good, decent defense, right? They've always played the 49ers hard and well, right? 13 points to me just seems like y'all thinking Seattle's gonna let go of the rope. And that doesn't sound like a Pete Carroll coach team to me at all.
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
So that's us for this week, you guys. Come back in next week. We will be dropping the betting pod. Obviously, we'll go over our picks, drop our picks for the next week. Push to the playoffs, man. Push to the playoffs. We want to go ahead and end the season off strong. So please, please, please bet responsibly. Please don't do anything that you can't get out of. The people meeting you in dark alleys, breaking your legs. I can't do it.
Don't be gambling your rent money.
Don't do
Anything.
dope man money. Don't do it. Don't do it. We will be dropping links in the bios. Obviously, we're big on YouTube now. We got the video going. The socials are coming out. I am going to be in the process of making a Birds of a Feather Instagram, Facebook page, socials. So y'all can hit us all on that.
All of that.
Yeah, all that good jazz, right? So, one of the things, if you ask about how do you get on City Talk? So City Talk, when I initially made it out, right, it was fan reaction. Then when, obviously we brought Taj on to the podcast, we come up with the topics and we've just been discussing. But it's supposed to be, right, community outreach. We want to hear from y'all, right? So you give us the topics and then we discuss it. So once these links are in the socials, I want y'all to reach out, comment, talk to us, let us know, because those are our City Talk topics. We love to discuss what y'all got on your mind.
Let's do it.
So this has been your boy Qcity.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
We out.
Peace. Lord. I know you about to go sit you a Gatorade and go to sleep. I'm actually about to go on a little run. Yeah, I might go on a little run myself. So, hey man, hey man, hey man. Yes, I do, and it needs me. I I am a man of God. Yes, I am, and I'm going to spread the word. I'm spread some legs too. I'm yeah, but we yeah, oh yeah, for sure. All right, man.